Hello, my name's Richard Watts, and I'm one of the directors at People Make It Work. And together with Dan de la Motte, we've been working with you to help you think about what your organizational vision, culture, values, and mission are. And I want to talk about where we've got to with that and share it with you today. In this recording, I'm going to share my slides and talk you through the process that we've been through. First of all, I'd like to say that as you're listening to this conversation, if you could think about whether you've had an opportunity to share your views and whether you felt heard and respected through this process. More than 100 of you have done so, which is absolutely brilliant. I'd love you to be asking questions about which of these elements of vision, mission, and values speak most powerfully to you. Does it sound like it's true? Does it sound like you could have said it? Does it encompass and play back what you and your community believe about the London Gay Men's Chorus? Which elements raise concerns for you or questions? Which parts of the work would you be happy with a chorus consensus on? Do you have any red lines? And what opportunities are implied? What challenges are implied? And in the email that this video will be in, you will see a link to a short Google-based anonymous survey to just ask you to gather some of those views. And when we get those back, we share those with the board and the project team for this project to make final refinements to what is currently a draft. So first of all, I'd like to say thank you. It's been an amazing privilege and experience to have sat with you and heard you talk about this organisation and what you've built together. As I say, more than 100 people have been involved, and it's been absolutely incredible. And you've shown a depth of love and commitment to this organisation. None of you have been uncritical, and none of you have been only critical. And you've said many, many things in really, really consistent ways. We've got a really clear picture of what matters to you, of what this organisation is that you've built together, and of what you want it to be in the future. So we want to play back those draft findings today and then gather your views in a really quick survey to make sure that after all those opinions and all those hours of dialogue, that we are still listening at this stage too, to make sure that we get that absolutely right, and that the words that you choose, the ideas that you commit to around your vision, mission, and values feel authentic and true for you and feel fit for the future, and probably also imply some change, imply some shifts, because things aren't perfect. There's quite a lot that you want to make better, and there's quite a lot that you want to see shifted, and there's quite a lot of you who want to do that work because it's your organisation, right? It's no one else's, so there's no one else who's going to do the work but you, really. So we're talking about vision, mission, and values. What we mean by vision is the change that we want to see in the world, our ambition for the world beyond us. Our mission is what we're going to do about that thing, what we're going to do to create that vision or make it more likely. And our values relate to our culture. What's it like to be here, to be part of this organisation? How do we sum that up in ways that kind of feel like they're describing our DNA or our software that helps us to run in a consistent way? And each of these will probably be both true and also ambitious or aspirational in some ways. So we could also talk about that as being a conversation about who we are, right? Like, it's been a beautiful and empowering and powerful conversation. It's also about what you've made together, which is incredible. It's incomparable. It's about what it means to be part of London Gay Men's Chorus, the experience, the power of that. And it's about the experience we want to have and create for others. It's about the impact that we're committed to. within our communities, so within the group, but also across audiences and across our city and across the world. And really, it's about love. It's about the love that you've invested in the songs you sing. It's about the love you feel for the group that you're part of. It's about the love you show those who come and join you, who find refuge in your group. It's about the love you share through your voices beyond the stage. And it's about, and that love means, I mean, it shows up as a lot of caring about this organisation and a lot of concern about it not being broken and a lot of positive intentions about its future. So I want to talk some more about that. So some of you, when we first met, described these three ideas that seemed a bit incompatible or in some way in conflict with each other. The idea of the club, a place that we belong, a place of safety and affinity, a group of gay men singing together and welcoming people from around the world into that space to learn, to sing, to move, to connect, to make music, to sing in harmony, to be together. And a lot of you really value that, and some of you only value that, and some of you value other things beyond it. All of you have criticisms about it, as well as ways that you really value it. And then secondly, we had a lot of people talking about performance, you know, the show, the big shows, the audience, the experience of being on the stage, the experience of being on London stages across the world, the experience of connecting with audiences, with friends and family, of being seen and of being in song. And finally, impact, that sense that we are a charitable organisation that has an effect on the world, on the LGBTQ community, on London, on our friends and family, across the gay men's chorus community, around the world in a range of ways. And some of you talked about those things as being in conflict and being in tension. And I think we've heard, from listening to all of you, I think we've heard a way that all of those things are actually overlapping, complementary and integrated. And I wanted to share some of the ideas that have come through that. So the first thing I want to share with you is the vision. So the things that we've heard from you really loud and clear are that we're an organisation that sings, that it's about singing. There's loads of other things people come together to do. We come together to sing. It's about community. It's about the experience of being brought together in song. It's about connecting beyond that space with audiences, in communities, sometimes outside Parliament, sometimes on a march, sometimes at Carnival, right? In a range of ways, we experience, we experience this sense of connection. So the vision that we've heard you describe is everyone brought together through song. The sense that our vision for the world is that people are brought together through song and that we're brought together through song in the rehearsal room. We're brought together through song when we're performing. We feel a sense of togetherness that runs down our spine when we're in that space together, and it's song that's brought us there. And then we use song to bring others to us, to bring people to events, to bring people to experiences. And our commitment is that there's something about the power of song that connects, that tells a story beyond ourselves, that builds empathy, that creates joy, that relates to I guess, our common humanity, right? It transcends us as individuals. It brings us together in song. We see it like across the world, don't we? That song is a way of building, maintaining, generating connection. So we think your vision, what we've heard you say is that your vision is everyone brought together through song. So let us know how meaningful that is for you, and how it works, and what feels really powerful about that, and what concerns it might bring, and what opportunities it creates. I mean, when you start to talk about everyone, then you also start to think about inclusion, and think about our programme, and think about all sorts of other questions too, which are really exciting. There's opportunities for growth and expansion, within a contained and sustainable route. So let's move on to your mission. So what we've heard you say is that if that's our vision, that everyone's brought together through song, what do we do at London Gay Men's Chorus? What do we do to bring that about? And we've heard you talk a lot about confidence, about the confidence that's been built by you, with you, and by you for others as a result of being part of the chorus. We've heard you talk about really powerfully this sense of joy, this sense of connection, this sense of community. So our mission is to build those things. And the way that we phrase that is that it's our mission to create, enable, and connect confident voices across communities with fun, hope, love, joy, and fearless allyship. So just to unpack that a little bit, that first line, create, enable, and connect, is about the way we work. We create confident voices, not perfect voices. We understand that this is a chorus that doesn't have auditions. And what you talked about isn't the perfection of the sound, it's the confidence of the body that produces the sound. And so confident voices are at the heart of this mission. So we create, enable, and connect confident voices across communities. So of course that's within the chorus, but it's beyond the chorus. And even within the chorus, there are communities, right? There are communities of nationality, there are communities of experience and identity. There's communities of sexuality running through the chorus too, aren't there? So that's across communities. That's thinking about audiences, that's thinking about shows, it's thinking about other settings where we might bring confident voices in order to generate fun, hope, love, and joy. There's no doubt those things are really present in your organisation, that you've made them a central part of your mission. And also then ending with this sense of fearless allyship, that the world is not as good as it should be. It's not as good as it should be for us. It's not as good as it should be for those that are coming after us. It's not as good as it should be for those who are different from us. It's not as good as it should be in places beyond here. And so that allyship is really central. A really large majority of you wanted that allyship to be more present than it is at the moment. And I think it's allyship through song. I think that when you talk about that allyship with most passion and ownership, it's when you're talking about singing outside Parliament or singing to support. So I think it's more about in song and in enabling song. And of course, it's got to be fearless, because the people that you're allying with are already marginalized, more marginalized than us. And if we stop because of fear, then where's the allyship in that? And most of the times you talked about a reticence about that allyship. It was always about the fear. And I think it's important as a community that part of your mission is to overcome that fear and to show allyship despite fear, rather than only show allyship when we don't feel fear. So creating, enabling and connecting confident voices is the mission that we've heard you describe. How does that land with you? Let us know in the survey. So I now want to talk about the values, the culture, the software, the DNA of our organization. And what does that look like? We've got 4 values that I'm going to talk about. And I think they're really powerful, and they've come from the conversations you've had with us. And they are all in, harmony, community, and transformation. I'm going to talk about each of them in turn. So all in. This is an organization that's all in. The amount of commitment that you show, there's like more than 60 of you who are volunteering in some way within the chorus, right? There's huge schedules of rehearsals and committees and process and songs to learn and moves to learn and support to show each other. It's an all-in organization. If you're not all in, then I'm not sure that it's the chorus for you. Now, I think we need to really think about that, and I'll qualify this idea of all in a sec. But essentially, it's about commitment. It's about a depth of commitment. This is a chorus with all in its DNA. It also means that we're all in, right? Not some people in and some people out and some people on the waiting list, or some people not welcome. It's all in. And that for me is about openness. That for me is about ownership. This sense that it's ours. There's not a they, it, them. It's an us, we, I. And all the things that need to happen in this organization are done by us. It's ours. And I think that's really important. All in also means that there has to be space within the organizational culture and practice for me to be involved and not feel cliqued out and not feel like somebody's got more control and it's like I'm having to follow the leader rather than lead myself, that I'm having to stay in line or get in line rather than feel a sense of agency. So for me, all in's also about how do we enable everyone to feel all in and not just some. I think it's probably also about choice. So the downside of all in is burnout, and we see that across the organization, don't we? So for me, this is also about what's my all in commitment? Like, is that one show a year? Is that I just want to do some community stuff? Is that I want to be at every rehearsal? Is that I want to be in every show? Is that like I want to volunteer here? Is it, like, what is it? Let's allow people to make choices about what all in means for them. But then, like, let's make sure that we honor the commitment we've made, because that's all in. I think all in is also about welcome and about making sure that everyone feels like they have a beautiful experience. There's quite a lot of people that say it's fine when you're in, but there's this like period of time which can be quite difficult in terms of getting in, whether that's about the waiting list or more sort of like psychologically about feeling truly welcomed in that process. So all in is one of your values. Yes, your second value is harmony. And this is about the fact that you want to create a place of beautiful harmony. I'm not saying you have it all the time, but harmony comes from combined perspectives, from a range of sounds, from every voice, combining to create a unified beauty. So it's about multiple perspectives, not single ones. It's about inclusion, right? Harmony is about the power of chorus, and it's about ensuring that everyone has a voice, that everyone is enabled and supported, that people who are disabled, that people from lower socioeconomic backgrounds, people for whom English isn't a first language, for people who've just arrived in London, for people who don't see themselves reflected in the chorus, that they're included, that their voice is brought forward, that they're supported to share their views. So harmony, I think, is about finding this ease that is often not there. You hear it, but you don't always see it in the organization. And I think that's really interesting in terms of where we go next with this organization. Our next value is community. So we're thinking with this value, we've heard you talk so much about what it means to be part of this group. So community is all about that, right? It's about, this is our club, but it's also our stage, it's our city, it's our world. So the community isn't just about those who are in the rehearsal room. It's those that we connect with through song across the world. It's those range of communities, the LGBTQ plus community, the global chorus community, the community of gay people around the world who aren't able to sing or who need our community, who need to be inspired by our presence. And our final value is transformation. And for me, this is about the journey that you go on. So all of you talked about the huge impact of being part of this chorus on you. So your journey is part of that. It's part of the DNA of this organization. But so is the transformational power of being together in the room, on the stage, side by side, with one breath, in song. And it's about the transformational impact of witnessing you, of being connected together through song with London Gay Men's Chorus. And it's about the transformational impact you have on the world as a result of the singing you do, of the work that you make, of the people you invite into a world of song. So you can also see these values as sitting together, all in harmony, community, and transformation. Our vision and mission is created through all in harmony, community, and transformation. So there's some implications of this work if you choose to adopt the vision, mission, and values that we've heard from you and are playing back today. There are some implications for the music you make. There's some implications for the way you work together and organise. There's some implications for your programme of activity, for how you talk about yourselves, about how you treat each other, about how you learn and develop together, about how you welcome people in and enable them to leave well. There's some implications for how much agency we each have to shape our involvement in the organisation. And there's some implications for how we connect with the wider world. So it's important that this vision, mission, and values are right, because all of these things flow from it. And the vision and mission sit as a roof, and then our programme and practices grow out of that and flow from it in alignment. So let us know what you think. Click on the link in the email and answer these really straightforward questions. Help us understand whether you felt you've had the opportunity to share your views and had them heard and respected. Let us know which of the elements speak most powerfully to you, which ones raise concerns or questions. Help us to understand which ones you're really happy to go with the consensus on, and what opportunities you see implied from this. What are the challenges that are implied too? And thank you so much for sharing your views throughout this process. It's been absolutely brilliant, and I'm really, really looking forward to hearing the extent to which these ideas land with you, and how we might need to refine them in order to do that last bit of really reflecting who you are, or whether what we've heard has come back to you with your fingerprints all over it, your voice running through it, in which case our job is done and it's over to you. Thanks very much indeed from me and Dan. Bye now.